Welcome to the volunteer orientation for the 2026 Grand Prairie Regional Airshow. Thank you for watching this orientation video, and thank you for volunteering at the Airshow. Events like this can only happen because volunteers like you dedicate your time to make it possible. This presentation will review the plan for the 2026 Airshow, how the grounds will be laid out, how to use radios if assigned, our emergency plans, some general plans, and some information for specific teams. The Airshow runs August 1st and 2nd, Saturday and Sunday. Some of you may be volunteering before for setup or after for teardown as well. The gates will open at 10 a.m. and the flying show will run from roughly noon until 4:30. The grounds will close at 6 p.m. each evening. The show will include a variety of flying acts, including skydivers, single-engine aerobatics, multi-aircraft aerobatic, and World War II aircraft flights. There will be ground performances, including the Loyal Edmonton Regiment ground attack demo and motocross demonstrations. There will be static display aircraft to view and tour, vendors, trade show, military displays, a kids area, and food trucks. Some of the rules on the grounds include absolutely no smoking and no vaping. We are park and ride only. There is very limited parking on site. There are no hard-sided coolers, umbrellas, alcohol, or weapons, no drones, no seeds, nuts, or popcorn. And the reason for that last rule is that attracts birds, and birds are a hazard to aircraft. This map shows the overall layout of the Airshow. The red rectangle near the top of the screen is the show box where the aircraft will be doing the flying performance. The blue triangle in the middle is the general public area, which includes seating, it includes food trucks, and the trade show and military booths. The light blue line shows the bus routes and the gate access. This is zoomed in on the grounds area for the Airshow. You'll see the main gates where people will come in when buses drop them off. You'll see the people mover gate over here where we're using golf carts for mobility challenge people to bring them into the Airshow. The static display area is this area in green. And the hot ramps are the red areas on the end here and here. And that is where aircraft that will be performing in the show will be so they can start their engines safely. And that is off limits to the public and all but very specific personnel. We have general seating starting on the left side of the screen. We have mobility challenge seating next to them. Our Grande Prairie area, which is a higher price ticket and is fenced and gated. Here we have show center where the announcer and the air boss and such will be. Continuing on, we have the altitude club, again higher price seating, which this one includes food. And then along the next part of show front, we have the sponsor tents. The motocross area is over here. And this one's very important, volunteer tent right down in the corner when you first come into the grounds off the static line. And then the remaining of the area includes the vendors, the food truck, the military display, etc. For any emergencies, we use a grid map. So you'll notice along the top of the page there are numbers, and along the bottom or along the sides of the page there's letters. And if you need to direct someone to a specific location, you simply use the letter and the number to guide them to where it is. This is zoomed in on the ground. So the volunteer tent, for example, we would go to L and down from 22. And that puts us in this section of the grid, which is where the volunteer tent and the first aid tent, etc. are at. So if we needed some support there, we could bring people into grid reference L22. There will be portable radios for those who need them on site. The radios are fairly simple to operate. They have one button for on, off, and volume, and one button for channel. There are 3 channels in the radio. The first channel is our safety. The second is for operations, and the third is for directors. On the safety channel will be security, fire, and medical. The operations channel will be for all other utilizations, so that's our grounds cleaning team, our volunteer teams, etc. And channel 3 is for airshow directors to use. Basically, when using a radio, push the push to talk button on the side, hold the radio about 2 inches away from your mouth. When you call, you should call who you are calling and then identify who you are. So for example, if I was calling Heather, I would push the button, I would wait a moment, I would say, Heather, this is Mark, and then I wait for her to respond. There's a number of emergencies that can happen at any public event, and there's a few that we need to go over specifically. So first off, missing child. If we are made aware of a missing child, we will call Code Adam. A couple of things that are going to happen when we call a Code Adam is all of the gates will be shut, no one will be allowed into the grounds, and no one will be allowed out of the grounds. We will need to get information about the child that is missing, so we need age, height, hair color, eye color, clothing, and especially shoes. And then we will get that information out to all volunteers and to all security, and we will also use the airshow announcer to support looking for this child. The parents of the missing child should be guided to the admissions area and wait there with admissions personnel and security until we are able to find the child and reunite the family. Should this event take longer than about 10 minutes, we will be utilizing the police, the RCMP, and the Grande Prairie Police Service to assist and take over the missing child search. The more common child-parent event in any event like this is actually a missing parent. In the event of a missing parent, so a child's come up and said, I can't find mom or dad, we will bring the child to the admissions area, and we will use the airshow announcer to request the parent go to the admissions area to reunite with their child. For missing parents, we do not need to shut down the gate and stop people moving in and out. Aircraft emergencies. If we have an aircraft emergency, they will be handled by the air boss, the announcer, and the show directors. There's 2 types. One is an emergency landing, and the other is a crash incident. And we have 4 different response teams strategically located around the airshow to respond, and they will be directed to wherever the emergency is at to deal with the injured pilots if necessary. In the event we have to shut down the show, we will make the announcements. If it is a routine shutdown because of incoming weather later in the day or aircraft problems or that sort of a thing, we will just direct people to return to the entrance and exit and meet up with their buses to be taken back to their cars. In the event of an emergency evacuation, we have 4 different gates that we can open up to the ground side to allow people out, and volunteers will be asked to assist with guiding people to those 4 gates, which we can show you on the maps. In the event that we have a severe weather event that we did not anticipate and we can't get people evacuated in time, we will shelter in place using 4 different hangars. And again, we will announce where those hangars are, and directors, volunteers, and security will assist in helping people get to the hangars and stay in them until the weather event has passed, or until we can get them to buses and move them back to their cars safely. On the ground side, we have St. John's Ambulance providing medical standby. So for any medical event, contact St. John's Ambulance, let them know where the injured person is at, and they will respond and treat accordingly. If they determine that they need support from EMS, security will help guide the ambulance into the site to where the injured person is at, and care will be provided accordingly. Should we have a fire on the grounds, we have Firemaster providing standby with a truck, water tank, and pump, and they will be our initial response. A call to 911 will also bring Grande Prairie Fire Department, and again, security will assist in getting the fire trucks to the site of the fire and dealing with the event. Any event that happens on site, whether it's an injury, a fire, a security event, etc., There are incident reports at Volunteer Services. If you are involved, please fill out the incident report, document what happened, what you saw, and what actions you took, as we need that for our records and for any future action that might have to be taken. Security, we have Apex Security providing personnel on site. It is everyone's responsibility to follow the rules and to enforce the rules. However, no volunteer is expected to deal with belligerent patrons should any be present. If that's the case, please contact security and they will deal with them accordingly. Some general points for volunteers. Bring a water bottle. Aquaterra will be providing water bottle refill stations, and that way you don't have to harm the environment and use single-use water bottles. Be prepared with sunscreen and hats for a hopefully nice, warm, sunny day, but also bring a jacket in case it gets windy, cool, or rainy. Have comfortable shoes. The grounds are large. You'll do a fair bit of walking, and you don't want to be in uncomfortable or unsupportive shoes. As I mentioned before, parking is very limited. We ask all volunteers to use the park and ride from the Grand Prairie or Northwest Polytechnic, St. Joe's, or the Comp, and busing is provided free right to the main gates, and you can get in from there. If you have 4 volunteers coming together, then you can get a parking pass to park on site, but that is for 4 people coming in with a single vehicle. There is no ATM on site, so for purchases at the food trucks or any of the souvenir vendors, make sure you have cash or credit or debit card. Again, you won't be able to pull money out of an ATM. Depending what team you're on, you may have specific orientation requirements. If you're part of my team with safety, security, so that's fence, barricade, security, fire, medical, or technical search and rescue, there is another video available online for you to watch, which will go through your specific responsibilities. For the other teams, please see your director and find out what they need to get through to you for your orientation. Thank you. I look forward to seeing you at the Airshow, and once again, thank you very much for volunteering and helping to make this event possible.